Greetings Internet, my name is Chris, and this video here is about how to successfully tank in the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm gonna tell you the things you need to know, I'm gonna show you the gear I recommend, the skills I recommend. I'm also gonna go over to misconceptions that are currently flying about, well have been for a while actually. The first one being the fact that you need to be a damage dealer as a tank in order to be successful. That is not true at all. You can have a secondary offset. I use destruction staff, and this is mainly for AoEing or interrupting with that crushing shock. Other than that, I don't think you need to be a damage dealer. A friend of mine who's a really good tank, he says he can get up to 400 DPS when he's tanking, but doing this will result in him losing all his magicka, using all his class abilities. As far as I know, it's only possible really with a Dragon Knight. Second misconception is the fact that only Dragon Knights can tank. This is not true at all. Actually, it seems like Templars are a lot better tanks now because of the stamina regen they have, which is very nice, and also because of the self heals. Nightblade tanks are also good. They have a lot of damage reduction from their ultimate, and they have a lot of self heal as well. Now sorcerer tanks, these are pretty bad because I can go through the 3 skills that are actually good, which to be honest I don't even use. Encase, it's pretty good. Hardened Ward, pretty good. And Boundless Storm. I use neither of these abilities because I don't think any of them are good compared to others when it comes to tanking. Now the abilities I use for tanking are Pierce Armor. This is my first taunt. Some people only run with 1 taunt, but I like to have 2. And you can see one of them is stamina, the other one is magicka. So basically if I run out of magicka, I can quickly just use my taunt, that stamina. So that one helps a lot. The second ability I use is Deep Slash. And this ability is good because it reduces the damage done by the target. And it actually does up to 2 additional targets since update 5. The third ability I use is Structured Entropy. This is from the Mage's skill tree. The reason why I use this is because it increases my max health by 8%. You see, currently my health is 3,881, and it's way above the soft cap. The reason why it's this high is because of all my attribute points, and because every single enchant I have is health, pretty much, wherever it can be. I'll go to the sets in a second. Yeah, so let's see, if I take off this ability here, my health drops with over 100. So yeah, you can see it's quite the impact, at least if you're building health like I am. A fourth ability I use is also from the One Hand and Shield 3. Oh my god, I did it again. One Hand and Shield 3. It absorbs magic and heals you, which is nice. But the reason why you want it is because of blocking mitigation. It's 8%. It really works well with another set you have. Make sure you have every single passive in here. This one reduces the cost of blocking, reduces the cost of One Hand and Shield abilities. This one increases block mitigation by 20%. You want that. This one makes a bash cost 40% less stamina. You want that as well for interrupting. This one here blocks additional 15% from projectiles and ranged attacks. This one here increases your movement speed by 60% when you're blocking. You can see this compared to this. That's a big difference. Now, alright, so the fifth ability I use is from the Undaunted tree. This is the taunt that almost everyone uses. Or everyone uses. I wouldn't recommend just going with 1 taunt. I would recommend having both, just in case you run out of magicka or run out of stamina. Although if you run out of stamina, you're gonna be pretty fucked. this one is nice because it's 28 meters range if you have the Inner Beast morph, which I recommend you have. So yeah. Now you might have seen this here in the corner. Werewolf. You might be thinking, why did you go with werewolf? That's weird, isn't it? Well, the reason why I have it is because of this here, Blood Rage. 6 ultimate, every 3 seconds I'm taking damage. So, I'll show you in a second when I engage this group over here, that I can go from 0 to 255 or 213 really quickly. Now this is my secondary bar, don't worry too much about it. Basically you just want to have something you can do AoE damage with, or it could be your utility bar, so I could technically have Encase on there if I wanted to snare some enemies. As a secondary ultimate I use Sturdy Horn, but I tend to swap this out with either Absorption Field, Summon Atronach, or Meteor, whatever whatever I want to use. Soul Assault. You could also have Bury on there. I will get that once I rank up for that. Currently I'm only rank 9 in PvP, so I need to level that a bit more. But that's also really nice ultimate to have as your secondary. And the thing is about the Blood Rage, it's when you have it equipped, so it needs to be on your tanking bar, the one where you take damage. Else it won't work. Alright. Gear. The main set I'm running with is Hisbark. You see I made it all legendary. This really helps with the Infused trait and the Divine trait, because that increases it if you make it legendary. The reason why I use this is because of the 5-piece effect. 18% chance to dodge while blocking. You might think 18% is not that much. You'll see that when we engage this group over here. Second set I'm using is the Footman set. This increases block mitigation by 12%, which on top of your 8% from your ability and the 20% from this one here, that's 40% increased. Also make sure you're using heavy armor, because you get this here. Reduces the cost of blocking by 20% when 5 or more pieces of armor, or heavy armor, are equipped. I've seen people tank in light armor. I think it's a really bad idea. You take way too much damage and your healer will not like you too much. Alright. So yeah, I use the second set is Footman. The reason why I have the shoulder and gauntlets and then the necklaces is because of the fact that only one other piece, and that being the pants of the Footman set, have Divine trait on them. The rest of them have Exploration, which is completely useless. So thank you a lot, Cinemax. Shit. And you can see I have spell resistance on my necklace. I have potion effectiveness increase 130%, which is nice. And I have the standard enchant, which is reducing the cost of blocking by 30. For my shield and sword, I have Ashen Grip because it gives me more health. And it's all about that health. I could have a little bit more health, I think, if I used the Spectra set, but that's a terrible set for tanking, so I will not be using that. For my potions, I use Stamina, Magic. It doesn't really matter too much. I used the Vet ones for Vet 1 ones. Christ. I use the Vet 1 potions for when I'm just fucking about, and I use the Vet 5 ones for when I'm doing like a dungeon or whatever, and I use these ones here for when I'm in a bit of trouble or when I'm doing trials. Basically, these are dual pots. They give you both magic and stamina. To make them, you just need Blessed Thistle, Columbine, and Cornflower. Now you might be thinking, why not just have the 3 pots or tripods? Because they give you health as well. But the thing is, the cost difference between having Cornflower, Columbine, and Blessed Thistle is about, I think for a stack it's about 30k difference, 25, that sort of thing. So I'm basically doing it because I'm a cheap fucker. Alright. The second set people have been talking a lot about is the Bastion set. This came out with Update 5 and the Undaunted Pledges. It's not really that good, I don't think. You can see I haven't upgraded it. This is just a normal quality of it. If I liked it, I would have made it legendary, but I didn't. You can see the 5-piece effect is when you taunt an enemy while you're below 60% health, you gain a point damage shield for 15 seconds. It's really nice, and you could have a 10-second rotation with this, because you see the effect has a cooldown of 10 seconds. So you could have a 10-second taunt rotation with this, but it's really not that good, because in order for you to go below 60% health, your healer needs to be either not paying attention, or really bad, or dead. So this set is more of a, oh, my healer is really bad, I better put this on if I want to stay alive kind of set, compared to anything else. Now also, the Wykkd set, if you're running this set as a tank, you're a moron, I'm sorry, but you really are. It's not a good set by any means. I mean, maybe if you're running the Ophidian Sanctum version of it, which is a little bit better, it might be a good set. You can see it increases healing taken, which is alright. But the 5-piece effect requires you to die, which I'm not a fan of. And if you're using the Resilient Wykkd, you're also a bit of a moron, because this is also a terrible set. Like, sure, it increases spell resistance, but like the effect that damages when you block is just terrible. Sure, it glows and looks nice, but it's not a good set. Alright, so time to show you a bit of taunt rotation. Now, what is taunt rotation and why is it important? The thing is, taunt rotation is very important actually, because it basically, it's a timer inside of your head that says, alright, I've taunted this guy 10 seconds ago, now I need to apply my taunt again, or 12 seconds ago, 8 seconds ago. Currently it seems like, since update 5 ruined taunting a little bit, broke it a little bit, you want to have longer taunt rotation, so 12 seconds between every taunt you do is a good idea. Also, a good thing to know is when you're tanking, when you see someone charging, make sure you stand in front of them. Also, something you want to be very aware of when you're taunting or whatever, is the fact that every enemy around you have this glowing red thing above their head. You can see that one didn't have and that one didn't have. So if that disappears before you taunt again, you're doing something wrong. It means you have too long of a taunt rotation. You can see my character just did some bobbing and weaving there. That's the his part. You can see it happens quite frequently, even though it's only 18%. If you look in the bottom of the screen, my ultimate is already at 200, which is very nice. So I use these welvets here if I want to train a set, or test a set, I guess. Train a set. God. You can see now I'm completely out of magicka, so this would be a good time to use magicka potions. If I run out of stamina as well, I would use my dual pot. In situations where you run out of magicka, it's nice to have the melee taunts. You can pretty just do this and this. So this is basically the best way to like learn how to do a simple taunt rotation. Now the thing is, these are only 4 enemies, and these aren't really that good practice for anything except basic dungeons. If you want to learn how to be a good tank in Aetherian Archive or some other trial, you definitely need to do Dragonstar Arena, and that's just a no-brainer, because you go up against 8 to 10 enemies at once, and you need to have a solid taunt rotation to keep all of those enemies on you. If you don't, your group members will die. Aetherian Archive has a specific place where a taunt rotation is key to success, and that's the final boss and the Axis. I'll show you some footage from that here in a second. But you can see during this fight here, like, I'm taunting them to death. I'm doing minimal damage with my attacks. Like 300 with Deep Slash is pretty terrible. You can see my DPS is 68. But I didn't die, I stayed alive. I didn't heal myself once. Basically my shitty regen, which is only 84, took care of it all for me. My ultimate is almost at 500, which is very nice. And also, I want to show you this. The reason why I go with Sturdy Horn is because of this. If I switch my shield, I have 4.225 health now. I have this with 20 seconds. Basically, Sturdy Warhorn increases party members' health by 20% for 20 seconds. It's golden, and if you don't have it, you're not using your brain right. It's very good for trials if you're going for that nuke. Oh, we need to nuke her now, so I better use my Sturdy Warhorn so people have more magicka, more stamina, more health, and just go to town on it. Anyway, I'll show you a little bit of footage from Dragonstar Arena first, on why it's reasonable to have why it's important to have a good taunt rotation. And I'll also show you Aetherian Archive with the axes, and a video where I have a very good taunt rotation on those. Alright, other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you found this video useful. Shadowcaster mid, I think, or is it left? Oh yeah, he spawns in second wave.
Wait. Here.
Left. It's on you, Agni.
It looks like
We need this gargoyle then.
there's two. Oh shit.
I'm sorry for laughing, dude. That's funny shit. Thought you had cameras up there. Oh shit. What are you gonna do? You gonna beat his ass? Why do you see to beat his ass? Perfectly fucking capable. Wait, miss. Lazy bastard.
Who's Pete talking to?
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's on the
Can't
phone or
really hear him.
something.
Or Musketeer, just stay in the center.
I'm gonna stand right on top of her then, since I'm alone. Never been this close.
My armory has a mind of its own.
I dodge roll onto mines, I don't care.
I cannot stop my
Musketeer, there's a mine next to you.
Come
Try
to
to
those
pop it
other
if
ones,
you can.
guys.
Always with the quick axes. God damn it.
Can you guys grab that mine?
Those that you're seeing next to me are mine. I accidentally used them.
Oh, heads up. Whoops.
Could you call out when it gets to 32?
Sure. Hey, Musketeer, there's a mine next to you. Try popping
I
it.
don't think there's anybody running elemental.
I don't think so. Adds up in the middle.
Getting close. Get ready to
Brace
start.
2%.